Well, good Thursday afternoon, everyone. It's weather for Weather Geeks time here on January the 8th, and the nation is just inundated with cold this afternoon. We bottomed out right at 0 at the Youngstown Warren Airport this morning. We had some backyards get down to -1, -2, and wind chills this morning were as low as -20 or so in some parts of the viewing area. Now, these are early afternoon temperatures on this Thursday. Here in the 2 o'clock hour, 7 degrees in Youngstown. Yeah, look at that, 7 degrees. The dew point is 11 below zero, so the air is just exceptionally dry. You're zapping things as you walk around. 8 degrees Newcastle, 6, 7 degrees Akron, Canton, Columbus, no higher than the single digits at this hour. Now, we'll probably get up to about 10 or 11, but it may be after dark before we get there, and then actually temperatures may continue to slowly rise as we head through the night tonight. But look how far-reaching this cold air mass is. And down in Florida this afternoon, Jacksonville, upper 30s to around 40. It's in the upper 20s to 30 in Atlanta. New Orleans down here just above freezing. So, it's way colder than average in many, many places across the U.S. today. So we pull up the radar here. Our next weather maker is moving through the Midwest. We have some sunshine out there this afternoon, but it's going to fade away quickly, and the snow is on the way for tonight. Now, this is not a big storm. And we've had kind of an underachieving week in the snow department. First things first, our Clipper earlier this week kind of underachieved. The lake effect yesterday didn't dump as much as it could have. There was more west, more east, but around our viewing area we had kind of a hole in the lake effect yesterday. Does system number 3 underachieve? I don't think so. Our forecast for tonight is for 1 to perhaps as much as 3 inches. I'm pretty comfortable with that. And again, 1 to 3 inches does not mean 3 inches. It means 1 to perhaps 3 inches. I think the chances of getting 1 inch are just about the same as getting 3 in most of the viewing area. I'll show you some probability maps in just a second. I think the farther north you are, your chances are a little higher of getting the higher end of the range. But the snow is out towards Chicago right now. I'm going to take off the current radar and bring up our latest high-resolution computer model and break down the timing of the arrival of this snow. If you have not outdoor plans, but travel plans for the rest of the daylight hours, you'll be just fine, and actually most of the early evening you'll be just fine. Here's the simulated radar this evening at 9 p.m. The snow pushing into northwest Ohio at this point. I'm sorry, not 9 p.m. This is 5 p.m. I'm a few hours ahead of myself. 5 p.m. The snow just pushing into extreme northwest Ohio. 7 p.m. this evening. Snow getting to about I-71 or just west of it, and then 9 o'clock this evening, what I originally said. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, I think this is when the snow is going to start to overspread. Now, it does have to overcome some of this dry air. I mentioned the dew point is 11 degrees below zero. The air down here at the bottom of the atmosphere is very, very dry. It might take a little while for this moisture to finally start reaching the ground. There might be some what we call virga at first, precipitation falling but evaporating before it reaches the ground. But nonetheless, the atmosphere will moisten up enough that the snow will start reaching the ground and accumulating. Here's the simulated radar at 11 p.m. Some light to moderate snow around. Notice the snow does extend fairly far back. And I think snow will continue at varying intensities throughout the night tonight. Here's a look at 1 a.m., light to moderate snow. Same idea then, probably here at 2 a.m. I'll switch over to the NAM model, which takes us out a little farther in time, and skip ahead to tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. I think the steady snow is out of here at this point, but there will be some residual light snow flurries or snow showers around. It'll be cold enough that anything that is falling will stick at least a little bit, and I think we'll be dealing with some snow showers off and on through the day tomorrow, especially in the morning. Here's tomorrow at midday, probably some flurries around and some harsh winds as well. All right, so that's the timing. How much snow are we talking about? Again, I mentioned our forecast is for 1 to perhaps as much as 3 inches. Here's the SREF, Short Range Ensemble forecast. This basically takes a computer model, tweaks the meteorological conditions in that model, the initial conditions, several times, in this case 21 times, and then runs it 21 times. Those initial tweaks in the temperature, the humidity, the pressure, etc., result in different solutions that the model comes up with. And it gives you kind of a range of possibilities as to what a certain situation might produce. And this is a plume of snowfall accumulations. The legend over here on the left, if this is a little hard to read, right here is 2 inches, right here is 3 inches. The dark line in the middle is the mean or the average of all 21 of these runs. And it stops at about 2.6 inches right here. As far as the average of all 21 of these runs. The range, the bottom here is a little shy of 2, top end of the range, a little more than 4, and this is for where the airport is in Trumbull County, around Vienna. So, I think that's pretty reasonable. I think, again, the farther north you are, the better chance you have of seeing 2 or 3. The farther south you are, I think you're probably closer to around 1 as far as a snow accumulation tonight, and we can see that visually here on the NOAA odds of more than 2 inches worth of snow. Kind of get you oriented here. Let me actually adjust this map a little bit, make sure my head's not covering it up. Here's Youngstown right here. Legend over here, bottom left, around downtown Youngstown and Boardman and Poland and Canfield, Struthers. Your chances of more than 2 are probably in the 40 to 60% range. Decent odds. Chance of getting more than 2 increases once you're up towards Interstate 80, and especially up in northern Trumbull, northern Mercer. Your odds of more than 2 go as high as maybe 80 to 90% up there. So that's the way it kind of breaks down. I've been getting a lot of questions on social media about the possibility of school adjustments tomorrow morning. If we do have them, it will not be because of the wind chills. Wind chills tomorrow morning will probably actually be 0 to 5 above, which usually is not cold enough to cause a whole lot of cancellations or delays. Usually, I say. This morning, of course, the wind chills were as cold as -20. What may cause some delays tomorrow morning is the snow tonight. Even though it's not a big storm, it's an inch to maybe 2 or 3. That combined with it being moderately cold might result in some school adjustments. We'll, of course, run the crawl at the bottom of the screen, the ticker, as we get them in. I know a lot of you ask me what I think about school closings, delays, adjustments. And just an FYI, I have nothing to do with that. They don't consult me. I don't make any decisions. These are all up to the school districts. They listen to the forecast, whether it's mine or someone else's, and make decisions based on that. I really don't have a whole lot of insight. In fact, as I've said a few times, I'm often surprised sometimes at what the school districts decide to do. It's not a knock on the school districts. It's just I don't understand the thresholds sometimes. Anyway, wind chills will become a big story then in the wake of our Arctic front, that front that is responsible for the snow tonight. In the wake of that front, we're going to get slammed again with another fresh Arctic air mass. Temperatures Friday night, Saturday morning, probably go below 0. And wind chills, if you thought this morning was bad, it's probably a little worse Saturday morning. These are the projected wind chills on the GFS model. We've got some -24s, -25s throughout the region. Now, it's not going to be exceptionally windy, but you don't need much wind if the temperature is -2 or -3 to create wind chills this bad. So Saturday morning is going to be another morning where common sense applies. We get a lot of calls about from pet advocates asking you to please remember to take care of the pets when it's this cold. Don't let them outside, and if you have to, especially dogs, let them outside. Make sure it's just for a couple of minutes, and I will continue to pass along those wishes. So that is the Thursday weather for Weather Geeks. I will be on 21 News tonight at 6 and 11 with an update on the snow. And if you join us tonight at 11, I'll have some snow on the radar to show you. And if you're an early riser Friday, checking in with the latest conditions, be sure and check out Justice Forecast on WFMJ today, starting at 5 a.m.